welcome back to another episode of Industry Champions, brought to you by the Daily News Network and Foodies Care. I have an opportunity to interview a recent award recipient of our Foodies Care event, Miss Brandice Acree. Did I say that correct?
Acree.
And she is with the AnnieRuth Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know we were talking a little bit offset. Congratulations on winning the award.
Thank you.
For the folks that are maybe going, okay, what are you talking about? What is this Foodies Care thing? Tell us a little bit about the award you won, the event we were at, some of the things we did, and a little bit about the foundation.
Yeah, perfect. So went to the event last year. It was my first time attending. It was a great opportunity, a great support system there. And I was like, wow, this is amazing what Foodies Care actually does. I've been volunteering with the AnnieRuth Foundation for about 3 years. Actually, one of our employees came up to me and she's like, I know this organization, they could really use help. I said, tell me more. And she's like, well, they really need school supplies. And then a couple other events happen. And so now I've grown that relationship with them. So this year I was awarded the Unsung Hero Award for my volunteerism with AnnieRuth. And quite a few other things that I do in the community. I'm on board of directors, but specifically with her, we started a back to school drive. Pre-pandemic time, we used to do, stuff the bus type of events. It was great when you're in the office, you could go tap on somebody's shoulder and say, hey, can you give some school supplies? Well, post-pandemic, we're in this virtual world. It's a lot harder. At the Standard, our employees get a 2-time match. So I was like, oh, you know what, let's raise money. Let's see what we can do to get money in the community. So went to AnnieRuth, said, I have this idea. If we sponsor some backpacks, what do you think we could do? She's like, well, I have some vendors. So we worked together. We got the health department, ViStar, Pace Center for Girls, quite a few nonprofits and organizations out, and hosted a back to school drive. And the Standard sponsored 300 backpacks. And employees, we did a drive to raise money and get the school supplies. Well, of course, this year rolls around. The need is stronger than ever. And I was like, went to the team. I was like, what if we do 400 backpacks? And then we had other people, what if we donate 50? So this year we have 450 Nike backpacks that we're going to be giving away on Saturday. So excited because it all filled from backpack number 1 to backpack number 450, filled with the exact same thing. Employees all donated money, got a match, and we're working together now to stuff all those backpacks.
So a couple things real quick for people that are like, what's a Standard? Oh. So the Standard is one of the largest group insurance companies in the United States.
It is.
So we'll plug for the company.
Yeah, thank you.
And maybe on another episode, we could talk a little bit about some recent developments in service delivery. And I think you serve professionally as the Community Relations Director.
Yes.
Am I correct on that?
That is correct.
But the Standard, which is a fine company that I've actually known for quite a long time, had a matching gift program for the AnnieRuth Foundation. And the AnnieRuth Foundation, we talk about insecurities a lot. Like, I'm not tall enough, I'm too thin, I'm too heavy, I don't have enough hair, all the things that we have as insecurities. But what you're doing for kids is insecurities surrounding, do they have school supplies?
Right.
Foodies Care. Does this child, whether in the United States or internationally, know where the next meal's coming from?
Absolutely.
So the place that you serve as the Unsung Hero Award was you helped a major insurance company who's, I know, very philanthropically inclined to stuff 300 and 400 backpacks for kids that may not have the simple necessities of markers, paper, scissors, glue, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, and it's being able to network with the community. I reached out to Hunger Fight the other day. I said, some of these children are hungry. What do you have that you could help? And they stepped right up. So they're actually donated meals for each of the children too that will go into the backpacks. So, these little needs, and to me it was really important that we don't just go get a Dollar Tree backpack, something of good quality that they can be proud to take to school with them.
And we talk a lot about, what are the 3 pillars of philanthropic activities, right? It's time, talent, treasure. And what is just amazing story to hear is, yes, your time, your talent, and your treasure is very valuable. But what you have been able to do is to get a community to donate their time, their talent, and their treasure.
Absolutely.
Because where you and I might be able to give $1, $100, $1,000, whatever, you're talking about significant dollars being donated, significant time being donated, and significant talent being donated in order to make sure that these young men and women coming out post-COVID, which is a very interesting world that we live in
Very
these
different.
days. You know, I mean, who knows? I can't believe that's been almost 7 years ago, but it's definitely different. And I have children that actually grew up in that environment, and you know, just a socio-demographic, you know, ability to interact, you know, before COVID, after COVID has changed, and then you pile on things like where am I going to have the things I need to be confident in school, right? Like the next Albert Einstein, if they don't have markers, do they even have the at-bat to get there? And then, of course, the food situation, like where am I, you know, I leave on Friday from school, I might not eat until Monday.
Yep.
So you are helping to create a community. You know, I heard ViStar is, you know, very large financial institution here in Jacksonville, in Florida, and Georgia, I think nowadays. And then Pace Center for Girls, I actually have done some work with them. So you got this community of businesses, other philanthropic organizations to coalesce around making sure that these young men and women get their fair shot.
Yep.
I think that is absolutely deserved of the Unsung Hero Award, and it was so awesome to have you there, you know, to receive it. I guess as we take it away, you know, if somebody's watching this, whether they're a donor, maybe they're a parent going, gosh, I really have a talented young man, but I'm struggling to just make, you know, the ends meet. What would you like to leave as maybe that final thought for the folks that may be watching it, whether it's participants, donors, or people that might be able to receive your blessings?
Yeah, you actually hit it a few minutes ago. You talk about time, talent, treasure. Everybody gives in a way that resonates with them. And whether that be start with $1. You know, my daughter started with $1 donation a week as she was younger, and now that will grow. So start with, whether it is your time, your talent, or treasure, start with baby steps. Maybe you're an engaged donor and you've lapsed and you haven't donated in the past few years. Go back and look at it, readjust, and see what you can do. Because everything you do has that ripple effect, whether it's an hour of volunteerism or $1 of donation, or, you know, just giving your time. You start a cycle and everybody's watching you. So if you're a leader in an organization and you're doing it, your employees see it. If you're a mom or a dad, your children see it, and they'll continue on that legacy.
And as we kind of wrap it out, you know, for folks that might be watching this that are looking at retirement, as we have an aging population, check with your CPA. But Uncle Sam is going to also be very favorably for the way that you possibly make donations, whether it's while you're alive in retirement or even in your estate.
Yep.
So as you know, there's many ways to donate.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be $1 on the barrelhead. You can give me $1. You can give me an hour. You can give me some of your talent. You can do some planned giving with somebody's estate. All kinds of things.
Yeah, North Florida Land Trust is right in our backyard.
It happens to be
right
it's right over there.
Yeah.
So as we take it away, what we will do is we'll put everything about the AnnieRuth Foundation on our website, which is thedailynewsnetwork.com. So people can come check it out, click around, find out how they can participate on such a worthy cause. Congratulations again on the award. But as much as it's like thanks for the award, I think it's really more for this community to be thanking you for what you're doing for those young men and women that may not have a voice otherwise, but then also now at least they get their fair shot. Absolutely. And you just never know what that gentleman or lady is going to be able to accomplish, but if they can't get to the plate, then there's never a chance that they can hit the ball. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really great to spend this time with you. As great as you are, we can't do this without these guys here. Right. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll make sure to put Brandice's stuff with AnnieRuth's Foundation on our website, thedailynewsnetwork.com. Come check it out, see how you can get involved. If you love this episode, care about somebody who might be willing to benefit from this episode, whether it's a donor or a recipient, please take a moment to click the button and share this episode. But remember to always live with gratitude.